with another message for you guys. I apologize for the lateness, right? But I do not apologize for the quality of this message, okay? So, long story short, I wanted to kind of like entitle it about the 7-7 portal, but it's kind of giving if you know, you know. And for whom all ever this session is for, it might not be for everybody. Just saying, okay? And because of that, I'm doing things a little bit differently, you guys. Just trying to hone in on who may actually resonate with this one, all right? Just to make it easy for yourself for reference, right? And not in the sense of like trying to be exclusive or trying to exclude anyone, right? But just in the sense of just trying to give you that quality message, all right, that you're looking for. Because whomever is connected to this message, chances are you could use the confirmation, not validation, of course, never that, right? We know how to give ourselves that, of course, of course. But confirmation is nice. It could be quite useful and, dare I say, empowering. And so I love to empower others. So I offer you this message for whomever it's going to resonate. All right. Let's see who might resonate with this. Okay. From the collective. All right. Whether you're signing on right now and subscribing, or whether you're one of my A1 day ones. All right. Or we meet next year. These are timeless messages. So welcome, welcome. All right. Um, we'll see how many people we get in here for this one. I'm not sure if I'm gonna do everything I normally come on here and do. All right, we'll see. We'll see how people come on and if everyone's playing nice. All right, that might be something we can do later. Is get into some of the gifts that I normally give out with the tarot messages. All right, so we'll see. We'll see. It's really late, and I don't expect everybody and their mama to be up at this hour, right? So I get that. It's also why I might make it a shorter session, if that makes sense. All right. Let's see here one more time. Spirit with the real. All right. With the really real. Still got it to go. I said one more time and I'm like, one more again. It's like when you hear like one of those songs that like literally feel like they're never ending, and then like the band goes, one more time. You're like, oh man. Like, come on, no, seriously. We were done like 4 minutes and 24 seconds ago. Maybe there's some significance to that angelic code, dare I say, 424, right? Definitely reduces down to a beautiful 10 endings and new beginnings. And whomever I'm reading for you guys for this one, you know about that life. All right, Aries at the bottom. And again, this is not for anyone but you, boo, right? Honing in on you, what you got going on. If your stuff doesn't come out, whether it's chart placements and or the initials, first, middle, or last for you, and you know that this still resonates, I'm not here to take that from you. All right. Love and Light Level Up Dojo. Um, so we've got Leo, Capricorn, Cancer, and Taurus come out. All right. And of course, Aries at the bottom of the deck. All right. So that may resonate, may not. Just trying to hone in on who all is attached to this one. All right. Somebody could wear wigs. Doesn't have to be the case. But I do see the ability to spell that one out so far in the initials that we do have. All right. But first out of the deck is G. Oh, we've got I. All right. I'm not going to get that at the moment, but that was the Q. All right. There could be high significance to Q. We've got D and T. Maybe somebody is a detective or works in law enforcement. Doesn't have to be the case. We've got W, and we've got J and X and O. All right. I almost said 0. That was weird. And N. All right. So again, if your stuff didn't come out, right, and we get into this message, which we didn't get into yet, I'm not unmindful of that, right? But if we get into this and you go, this resonates, I need you to allow for that to be the case, okay? I'm not here to fight that, and I'm not here to manipulate the message. So it just is going to be what it is, all right? Can't be for everyone all the time. I get that, right? Love and Light, Jeff. So before I get into this, though, my goodness, what's up with the nose tingle already? I didn't even. Long story short, all right, with this portal energy, all the opposition, you might want to say spiritual warfare, you might want to say what else? There's good stuff out there too we could talk about, right? I'd love if we talked about that a lot more. All right. I usually have to talk about how we're gonna get off the ledge usually though. So I don't, if we had more time, maybe I could just talk about just the good stuff, right? But at the same time, I'm here to help straighten everybody's crown, if that makes sense to say. And definitely not here to fart for anyone. Hopefully that makes sense and is a no-brainer. If you can't figure that part out, this channel isn't for you, babe, okay? And I'm okay with that. Whoever I'm speaking to is self-disciplined. Ooh, whether they fart or not, right? Self-discipline. There's a mastery to that. There's an art form you might say to that. And maybe some of you feel like you have been put to the test brutally in current energies. Now, this is a timeless message. We are talking about the 7-7 portal, but I do also infuse the intent with the messages that, you know, they find whom all ever is really for them and in need of them, and in a timely manner. Might not be on the 7-7 portal energy or the cusp, dare I say, as it's kind of passing through, right? But I digress. There's also the energy of diligence coming through. Now, one moment. Here's the sitch. If you're saying I'm neither of these message and so what of it, get on it. How about that? Nobody's gonna wait for you. I mean, you'd have to know. You'd have to be in charge of checking and being accountable for yourselves, right? That, I mean, isn't that part and parcel of what being self-disciplined alone is about? And even to be self-disciplined, of course, you've got to instill diligence. I mean, if you didn't, you wouldn't be working smart. You'd be working quite hard at this, even harder than it already is, you might say. I do feel this energy of disgruntlement as I'm tapping in. It's like some of you are like, yeah, we know, like, been on this. This is me. And, right? Well, confirmation, all right, again, going back to can be empowering, right? Your divine guidance wants you to know, you are capable at whatever adaptation and resilience is being asked of you at this time. Fair warning, this might piss off a lot of people. You being responsible and all. Maybe that's that air of disgruntlement. It's like, damn it, I'm already doing the damn thing, staying in my lane, right? Just trying to take care of me and mine. And again, this opposition. I was recently reminded of the fact that, there are such things as rulers and principalities, right? I think that's often the case, even more so than karmics, as to why we do talk about things like spiritual opposition, spiritual warfare. Love and light, Shara, welcome. Love and light, Scott. Love and light, William. And the thing is, you got to be assertive at this, right? Like, think of characters that we know and love as badasses, right? Like, like, could you imagine if like, think of Kill Bill, right? That whole series. Like, okay, so like if Uma like didn't have the audacity, how would that go? Like, how would that? I mean, that whole scene with Lucy Liu wouldn't have even made it to the freaking halfway mark of that one, let alone the end, right? There is a level of action. We'll say it that way, right? I won't say that to be assertive necessarily um, is dual in nature to the point of aggression, right? But action. And, when you are being responsible, you are being resilient and adaptable, and you are still fucking mastering yourself, right? I'm not saying you're there yet. Okay, I mean, if you were there, would you have much more time left here? Since we're always talking about it's a Earth school here around these parts and stuff. Even though we're co-creating this experience, right? We're still here learning and growing our soul. Now, Spirit wants you to, where it's applicable, be more organized. Okay, if that resonates for you, because that's going to help you with the discipline, if that makes sense. I recently had a little bit of an epiphany about that. I was like, you know what, I could do things this way. I could operate in these ways, but then when I cross-referenced it with functionality, potentiality, as well as the way I felt, operating in one way versus another. That's really what helped me to come to a decision that, you know what, with a little bit more effort, it's going to be more long standing bliss as far as the results. I damn sure deserve that. You know what I mean? So I'm going to honor that and put in a little bit more work. Now, there might be other instances where it's like when you cross reference and do the math, you know, and it's like the math ain't mathin'. It's like, okay, well, hold on, I actually need to make a change in another direction where I just ultimately, you know, maybe even just cut ties or ultimately just, you know, wash your hands of the situation in the sense of that's not actually high priority for today, right? And you've got to be resilient and adaptive at that as well. Going with the flow is not really always, quite unfortunately, the epitome of just woosah, you know, and you're just, I'm good now, right? Sometimes there's a process to going with the flow. It's like, oh, bumped into that brick wall, didn't realize, you know, okay, well, let's try again. Oh, gosh, it feels like the divine is benching me at this. I really can't place my finger on it. I'm trying all the things, you know, and it's like, long story short, going with the flow was going to get you catapulted out of whatever energies, whatever environments, all right, you know, fill in the blank there that you're looking to grow out of, that you're looking to you know, remove, depending on what all we're talking about, right? But organization is key for just helping you kind of feng shui your shit and, you know, maybe even autopilot a little bit better, if that makes sense to say, for those that have had enough trauma where disassociation is a thing. You know, you check in, you check out, and it's not always a controlled maneuver, right? That's going to help you stay a little bit more attentive as well. Okay, as I'm channeling this and I see the next card is talking about attention, being attentive, paying close and careful attention to the details. So if that's something that you've been having an issue with, perhaps, you know, spirit's just kind of outing the situation as like being more structured, all right, is going to actually assist you with kind of keeping your shit together. All right, remain humble though. Okay, here's the thing. Whoever I'm talking to, a large percentage of you, okay, in current energies at least, that's why I'm saying not everybody, I get that, not necessarily, right? But you've been doing the damn thing to the point where it's like shit is about to break for you, in a good way. Like the breakthrough without the breakdown, right? I think we've all had a bunch of breakdowns, right? I was looking at Tower Energy earlier. I didn't really get into the deck yet from the tarot. But you know, there's wisdom that's you know, to be gleaned on the other side of those towers, right? Sometimes the wisdom is like, hey, I'm on the great side of karma. Cool, you know. You know, right? A tower card, the energy of the tower, the understanding that you're in one, climbing out of one, right? Doesn't have to be bad, doesn't have to even feel like doom or gloom, but it might take a level of self-discipline. It might take a level of resilience, right? It might take you remaining humble so that your ego doesn't get in the way and fight against the very manifestations, the blessings, and the lessons, which are also blessings. Because guess what? Wisdom is power, knowledge is power, right? But to allow for everything to come in a flow state. Love and light, Laura. Welcome. Oh, be safe. Yeah, I just got on not too long ago. It's late where I am. It was later than I planned to come on. And you know, you've got to be tactful, all right? Some people are going to be triggered and they're going to be like, it's making me think of that nun. Like, do you guys remember that old, I never had one of them, but like it's, my guides are making me think of like that punching nun toy. Like, you know, just like a, like the audacity, right? And just trying to get you out of character and just trying to paint you in a light that, you know, perhaps just doesn't even make any sense, right? Again, this is part and parcel of growing, ascension. I definitely see ascension across the board here for the collective. That's everybody. Okay, I can say that, Mark. That I can say that much. Somebody's name might be Mark, and there might be some significance to the month March. Okay, or there's a Mark marching somewhere. No, I don't know. But continue to keep yourselves in good energies, okay? Because there's a lot swirling around you that has nothing to do with you. And I need you to know sometimes when it has nothing to do with you, the people might have your actual name in their mouth, in the mix, okay? And I still need you to know the message stands. It has nothing to do with you up until the point where you kind of like focus in and invite the information about what, oh, what is so and so saying? Is it your business? Is it your business what anyone else's opinion of you could ever be? Is it so much your business that it's got to alter the way that you think and feel about yourself? That it's got to alter your days and nights? Okay, so be compassionate towards yourselves. All right, we have all run the gambit of, being people pleasers, overshooting the energy, right? Some of us being neurospicy. There's some other aspects to that, as far as understanding social cues, this, that, and the third. But ain't no way, if you've come to this message and you're still here, right, that you don't know what I'm talking about, because this is for those that know. And again, I want to kind of say, if you know, you know, right? So be compassionate towards yourselves the way that everyone else kind of wasn't in your history, or at least the people on your mind now currently is what I mean. I'm not trying to say like, all your life you just were treated like crap, but for those that also know about that, right? Just saying, okay, you're the source of what you need right now. And you're also the same source that is backed by source. Does that make sense? Okay. So whether you say God, goddess, Kalima might be a goddess of some significance. I heard her name. It doesn't have to be the case whether you say Holy Spirit, universe. However, okay, you're on the great side of karma. I need you to know. Okay, and so that means that you can allow for your central nervous system to heal. All right, I'm not saying it's with the snap of the fingers or clicks of the heels, whether your name's Dorothy or not, whether your name is Oz or not. Okay, just saying. You can. You are equipped with this. This is how you got through to even live out this portal energy. And I know many of you are, maybe even wanting to smirk at this point because it's like you don't have any tangible evidence. But if you know that this message is for you and you know it resonates, when you check the energy, you go, yeah, that tracks. And energy doesn't lie, people do. Okay. This life is far more spiritual for those that maybe still don't know. Okay. And so often we're talking about how energy just is what it is and that it stands, right? Because we're checking into more than one place when we check for energy. And I say we because we all have our own intuitive giftings, all right, and levels and measures of that. Okay. And so, don't be unmindful of that. You too, right? You don't always have to go to a tarot reader. You don't always have to go to a priest. You don't always, you're to have your own connection with divinity. Okay, because you already do. Hope that makes sense, right? And so, be compassionate towards yourselves as well for the things that, maybe didn't really click right away. You didn't understand the first 14 times, so what of it? Okay, the fact that I was talking to somebody earlier tonight, I'm like, the fact that you didn't give up means you've already won. Like, you always win up until the point where you give up. And then you just kind of acquiesce your winnings. You're always the winner. You're always the victor, never the victim. Okay. And that's again going to piss a lot of people off because, they want you to be a victim. They've intended to victimize you. They have victimized you. They have attempted to abuse you, and they have, right? Um, Marilyn Manson could be an icon of some significance, okay, or their music could be. In your spirit guides, they want you again to receive this confirmation, all right, that you have done great in your lessons. Like, you can't be embarrassed about whatever lessons you learned to the point where it's like, no, no, it wasn't me, and then you deny like all of your hard work and also all of your hard work that can help others. Does that sound wise? I mean, didn't we say that you have the wisdom already? Like, on the other side of these experiences? Yeah, you are wise. You carry wisdom, right? Like, not any one of us knows everything. Like, the second any one of us goes, no, yeah, I do. I know everything. That's a red flag. Like, please step aside, pray for the person, love and light them from afar, right? Because that's a dangerous zone to be like, yeah, I know everything. Even in very learned areas of study. Go figure. Okay. And if and when you do find yourselves and or others operating in that type of conscious, I need you to know it's very egoic. It's a very ego-based type of conscious or energy, right? And so, you have come too far not to know that you have at least fafoed, right? To find out though, like not just fafoed and still learning. You got under your belt what all you need to continue on. Okay. Now there could be some significance to having ties to the Pleiadians. I do also see cosmic family coming through with the come through energetically and ultimately physically in the near future. Right, for those that resonate with really that being part and parcel of their prayers or their wishes or their preferences, love and light Pradabhan, this is the thing. Okay, in current energies there is a gathering of sorts. Okay, you will start to meet individuals, maybe in some of the most auspicious ways, I'll give you that, because divine strategy doesn't always make logical sense, but it always works, doesn't it? Right. And so, a lot of us have been being activated separately and apart. And now it's kind of time to gather and mix a bit. Okay. It's almost like, if you had a situation where there's like special armed forces, right? You wouldn't want them to be like super weakened, right, in their efforts of force and tactic, okay, by being so sparsely spread apart that there's no ability to assist others, there's no ability to hyper focus on certain areas of land, et cetera, right? And so, same deal with any kind of blueprinted strategy that the divine already has in place and that we are very much a part of in our own special ways. And I have to say it that way because this is a general collective. Some people are grid workers. They literally have to move about around the grid or around the states or around the countries, right? Or go where they physically are called to because their physical presence does some shit that is just not necessarily easily explainable. All right. And so, but yet at the same time is needed. All right. And, the next person in the collective, you're not a grid worker. You're, something, you're doing some other things. And each one of us have our part to play. I mean, could you imagine if, they in my religious days, whenever I was in the Christian community, we always talked about like, the body of Christ, as it were, right? And each part has their part to play, right? Like you can't have a full body without like a left armpit, right? You can't have a full body without that pinky toe, right? So, you know that kind of sentiment is what's coming through the channeling and what I'm trying to artfully discuss with you all. Hopefully it's coming through okay. Almost done, you guys. Crystal skull wisdom, there's that wisdom again. All right, maybe somebody does already connect with a crystal skull. That's pretty cool. Your ancestors could come through, or you have it, or you have an understanding that there is a means with which something can channel to you through that. That's pretty neat. Um, if you don't mind outing yourself, let me know in the comments. Who is that? Um, but really, again, you've come too far, all right, and there's really no turning back. But there is this expectation of this higher vibrational energy with a lot more ease. All right, so maybe up to this point, I said maybe tongue in cheek. I'm sure if you scroll it back, you can see that in order to get to and or maintain high vibrational frequency energy, okay, maybe it's been a fight. You might say that it's been a repeat process. Try again, right? Okay, but you're doing it. Spirit wants you to know your spiritual guidance team. All right. Hell, Hathar light codes are coming through for you guys. All right. So you are connecting to at least, I'll say it this way because general collective message, your higher self version of you and allowing that to come through. And not without assistance of the divine. All right. Lovely Krillin, how are you? I'm great. Um, and so, kind of taking it a step past this Christ-like energy, you're kind of entering into the source coded I am ascension type of vibrational frequency, which I love for you. I am is really just like a great unlocker. Like, I don't know if that's really like something that's artfully to say. Lovely, grateful. But actually grateful, right? Welcome. Welcome in that energy of gratitude, you guys. it also is another unlocker. Okay, so thanks for coming on here, Grateful Z, because um, that helped round out the message. You know, the divine in its ultimate strategy will use all kinds, right? And so you guys keep your eyes, ears, and minds open for those synchronicities that are being shared with us. It's just more of a question of, are you catching it? Are you processing it? You know, I mentioned angel number 424, right? Who looked it up? I mean, just saying, you got to put in some of this work, yes, but the more you put in like this little bit here and there, right? You get to the soft air and you go, whoa, like lately I've been going, okay, now wait a minute. So I had to do this task, which normally takes about 23 minutes. And you're saying, so it was 14 minutes past and I've been done for about 3 minutes. That's odd. Uh-huh, soft era. Okay, new earth. Welcome. All right. We are co-creating more utopic type of energies. All right. Utopia really talks about perfection. Now, you guys, I'm not trying to gas up anybody's anything here. If you're in the earth realm, whether you want to add a D to that, 3 or 4 or not, okay. Um, the situation is that you know, you're not in an environment that is notoriously high vibes, okay. You being in your gratitude energies and you understanding that you connect to divinity, all right, and talking about it and ruminating about that, okay, in a good way, not just an obsessive way that's like not controlled, to be clear. That might be spiritual psychosis. I'm not a doctor, all right. I'm just saying, right. But you know, you start to unlock, like, thank you, like, I used to struggle to like, let me try to give like a better example. Like, I could manifest like that I would find my pen if it was lost back in the day, right? But then it was like back in the day I'd be like, okay, I really need a parking spot at such and such, and I struggled there, I'm not gonna lie, from day one, right? Now I'm like, I got that on lock, like it's fine, like I can see it, like I'm literally like it's a thing. Thank you. I'm grateful, of course. I'm not saying that to be cocky. But what I'm saying, you guys, is when you start to take some of these keys to the spiritual streets that are being handed to you because you've been doing your baby steps or your giant leaps, right? It gets a lot easier, a lot brighter, a lot lighter. And damn it, you deserve to feel that and experience it. It's why you came. Love and light, Mike Garrett. I hope you get something out of this, babe. Welcome in, you guys. I know I'm getting something. Energy feels good. It feels promising and it feels stable. It does not feel flighty. It does not feel by chance. It feels earned, and it also feels filled with rewards. Mm. Do you want to know what oh, chills. Do you want to know what happens when the divine knows that they know that they know? And I'm saying they, you guys, to be clear, because there's multiple layers of this. You know, when I say the divine, I'm addressing your spirit guides. I'm addressing, you know, some might even say like ETs, all right, which does connect to Yeshua. Long story short, okay. Anyways, you know, I'm talking the angelic realm, right? Obviously talking about source energy, like the ultimate, the creator, the one, right? And do you want to know what happens when they all know that they know that they know that you are due just rewards? They always, and again, separate and, you know, like in these multi-layered, give you more than what you're even capable of expecting. I love to talk about it. I have chills. I feel it's you are loved. Exactly. You are so loved that you guys got a love card, like a lovey-dovey card from one of my lovey-dovey decks, okay? From basically the divine. And again, can't pinpoint it to just, I mean, we could dumb it down to source, right? Like break it down to source, okay? Because that would be the ultimate top tier root of it all. But I need you to know it's your guides, your personal guardian angel, the archangels, right? You know, the cosmic family that's coming through with the come through saying, you got this, you are well equipped, and we support you. From what I can see in the cards with the star gathering energy. All right, as well as hold on one second, just so y'all don't think I'm making it up. Just saying. Hold on. All right, hold on. Where are y'all? Where are you? No, where's that other card? Because it was all lit up like a fireball, like a firework. Hold on, because I can recall it explicitly, and it was not Merkaba. You guys could be... Oh, here we go. Okay, so Star Gathering and Pleiadian activation. Yeah, coming through. All right. So you could understand already. You could know, you could even have names, all right, from downloads and tapping into visions from previous lifetimes. And I'm trying to say timelines, but okay. Okay, right. Um, so, you know, please don't feel small, you guys. Like, please don't allow anyone to make you feel small, because you're too much. Um, I have a passion about that message personally, because a lot of my life I felt really small. It's funny because a lot of my life I was bigger than I am now physically, but it's about, like, how you feel at your core, right? And the thing is, people um that are around us, when they're around us, aren't necessarily for us, right? So they're not reliable sources to outwardly go to say, "Hey, do I matter? Hey, am I a piece of shit? Like, hey, am I likable? Hey, am I lovable?" Because you guys have to know that for you. Because again, I can't get around this, like, energy of, like, it's like these people cannot stop any one of yous, right? But at the same time, they would love to. So there is, like, this heavy theme of, like, non-supportive individuals. Like, you might resonate with how, like, I really feel sometimes, where it's like you could probably get a better friend out of a stranger, because they don't know enough about, like, the shit that you crawled out of, or, like, how many times you had to, like, reinvent yourself just to make sure that you weren't going to stay trapped in the mentality, or the physicality, or the spiritual nature that you were in. Okay, depending on who I'm addressing, right? um and so, like, where you guys are going, right, it gets, like, really great there. I know you can't necessarily see all aspects of it right now, but it's coming in. Okay, and it's giving, like, guaranteed. I usually don't give messages through the channel like that, like, "Oh yeah, this is a guarantee." And I think that's kind of why I wanted to hone in on, like, whom all may resonate with this, like, what your attributes, I like to call them, so chart placements and initials, just to try to hone in to give you this confirmation, because this feels big, and it kind of feels like the energy behind it coming through, it kind of feels a little unbelievable, right? Or implausible. Like, I cannot believe that this happened. Like, did you ever have look back, I'm sure you did, an instance, or a for instance, where it's like you just felt so supported by unseen forces, because it's like, ain't no way that that car shouldn't be, like, riding up my roof right now, right? Just knowing that, like, you that that was logically going to be a horrific car accident, and yet you're unscathed, and metal didn't even gnash against itself. Okay, so you're almost like, you understand that you're protected in the moment, of course, and of course you're grateful just the same, right? For those that have ever had, like, a near escape, okay, on the road, or something similar, plug it in, okay? And you say to yourself, but I still kind of can't believe, like, in the moment, you're still in that shock, like, dude, that car should have ramped up over me. Like, I literally was not able to stop in time. Like, what? And then, of course, you get your wits about you, and you go, yep, thank you, angels, thank you, but you still can't believe it. Okay, it's kind of given that, right? And with this Akashic Stargate, this card, look at this card, you guys, firstly, right? This is kind of giving, like, death and rebirth, dark night of the soul after after dark night of the soul, right? And so again, if you know, you know, all right, for, like, this is a large majority of who's going to resonate with this one, you guys, right? You would know. It says aligned with purpose, crossroads, no wrong path. So you guys are in this crossroads, perhaps, right? Maybe you've got choices and decisions to make and choose, right? it's not a bad thing. This might feel like a tower energy, a tower moment, um, because you could be uprooted, you could be, being ripped out of that miry clay. Going back to that old Christian type of spiritual, religious reference, I suppose. It's interesting. These are kind of like church windows. Maybe there's somebody who resonates with that lifestyle. But you know, don't don't look outside of yourselves, you guys, for, of course, validation, but even confirmation of whether or not you're on the right side of karma. Like, yes, I'm guiding you and I'm telling you this message and I'm not manipulating the message, but part of the message, if this can make sense for you, okay, is that you too, though. Like, you know what I mean? The divine's not going to have me all the time, like on a live stream. You well know that, I'm sure, most of you, right? Some of you maybe, are just meeting. And I'm working on that, you guys. Bear with, okay? But you having your own personal walk, you having your own personal pep talk scripts, right? Just to plug in there in moments of, what might even feel like despair, what might feel like tower moment energy. Okay. And of course you've got the support of the divine. Draw on that. You can't, how are you gonna sit there and have like a full like freak out, right? Like you're gonna have like a whole what, like meltdown, right? But at the same time, you know that you've got your personal guardian angel, right, who's coming through again, like, hey, remember I exist, right? That could be for me too, you guys. I should like specifically like address. But really, I just kind of like personally just lump the angels together often just to be like direct connect quickening things, right? But there is some significance to, again, looking closely at the details, the working parts, right? Like going back to that even body of Christ reference, right? Like it's not a whole body if it's missing something, right? Who cares what the something is, right? You're missing one of your lips, right? It's, you can't lie and say like, yeah, that's a full body. It just is what it is, and we all have our part to play, right? But we all have our ability simultaneously. If we all have our part to play, make it make sense, right? To connect directly. All right, and that's very important for you guys because it's great to use divination for its usefulness, right? But then you've got to cross reference it and check with your own intuition, perhaps, as well as connecting to divinity, to allow divinity to personally confirm for you, right? Otherwise you're just kind of outwardly living outside of yourself. It might be dangerous because people outside of you don't necessarily care for you all the time. Does that make sense? I hope somebody's getting that. Love and light, Mike. But the thing is, so if you want to tell the story, right, with your powerful tongue and your powerful perception, and we're co creating an experience together, just like how you honored the experience by coming on and hanging out with us, right? We're co creating what we're going to talk about here and how we're going to experience and feel and learn and grow our soul, right? And I just want to say to you, like, when you are operating in that place of power, that perception, excuse me, of power, Mike or anyone else who can, and we've all been there, right? Then you wouldn't want to say, that all of your luck is in the less than preferable section. Now, you can honor the fact that you've known that. You know well what you do not prefer. And so the ball starts rolling when Mike or anyone who can make sense of this says, now that I know what I do not prefer, let me take steps towards what I do prefer, right? So of course everybody hates bad luck, right? So we wouldn't lay claim to it anymore because then that allows us to drop it as if it were baggage. And if you drop baggage, it's really hard for it to roll back around to you and to be back in your hands unless you're operating with it by tolerating it, integrating with it, ruminating, obsessing over it, right? Speaking over it as if it's got a hold over you in ways that you don't prefer. So, you guys, you got to be mindful of your approach at this thing we call life, right? Or you're co-creating it. Is it crappy? Is it just shit? And that's just all it's ever going to be? Are you just always in that tower moment? You're just always burning up. You just can't even escape the fucking tower heat because you're stuck in it. Is it? Are you sticking yourself in the trap? Is that you doing that? right? And then you have to be honest with yourself. Like, even when others hurt you, what was your part to play in it? Were you being too patient? Were you overgiving? Were you not believing you were strong enough to walk away, right? Were you not grounded and thinking that this person was an assignment of sorts, or thinking that, love is a service by accident because other people lied to you about what love is? At certain points of the path, okay, when you're baby stepping it towards some of this growth, you do start making some of those giant leaps, and you start getting a little bit better perception of your own ability, in spite of the bank account not changing necessarily right overnight, right? In spite of people around you maybe being around at all anymore, because when you do some of this work, they can't be, because you realize I'm entertaining demons. These people are assholes, and to me, and to each other. It's bad energy. And energy don't lie, people do. Love and light, Juanita. Right? So you guys, you have your own ability to be accountable. And so that means you can hold yourself accountable. Ooh, 111 on the timer, new beginnings. You guys got this. All right. So basically, long story short, you guys do got this. I'm going to take a quick look to see what else the tarot can tell us about next steps. But this portal energy 7-7, look up the number. It does speak to abundance. Okay, I do see that coming through. Did I forget that card? Hold on, let me see. Because one of these cards, I thought it was a gold one. Yeah, the Hathor Lake Codes. No, that's not it. Hold on. One second. I think there's one card I need. Yeah, here it is. This is the last card I skipped over by accident. One second. Let me make sure that's the only one. Okay, that was the only one. Saving the best for last. That could be a synchronicity, right? The central sun. So we had the Hathor light codes coming through with the come through, and now we've got the sun. There could be some significance to your having ties, I say this tongue in cheek, to ancient Egyptian civilization as well. And the scarab could be of some significance. You could have scarab tattoos, scarab jewelry, or just an affinity for the icon. Yeah, abundance, downloads, regeneration, success. I love all of this for you. This is what the portal energy is bringing through, has brought through. Let's just claim it like it's already done, because it really energetically, dare I say spiritually, already is. Okay. I hope you guys got that, right? Let's see here. You guys have been for the most part putting steps towards learning more. Okay, maybe some of the terms that we used this evening or this morning are like a new reference to you, but love and light Fiona, welcome. Love and light Jay. Oh, I thought I saw Jay. I'm sorry, I don't even have my glasses on here. But we've got evidence, spirit, outing you, your spiritual guidance team, of you kind of, walking it out a little bit. Okay, you are doing your part. Nobody here should feel like, oh my gosh, I was absolutely doing nothing, and my spiritual guidance team's outing me is doing absolutely nothing. That's not coming through the channeling. I would tell you, because I'd be very disappointed. I was like, oh no, you guys. But you guys are closing out a cycle, all right, and timely done. Okay. You may be called judgment. You maybe were used as judgment or karma, you might say. But again, this judgment energy also feels highly self-reflective. Like, it's like, what can I learn from this? It's like, I understand this is a lesson, but what more can I understand this is a lesson and I've learned these things. What more could I learn? Right? Just to make sure that the cycle remains closed. Okay. It's like, no, I need to literally like move on and just into the new version of me. Like, thank you, next. Right. And for the large majority of you, you do kind of keep to yourselves until it's time to maybe celebrate with those that are safe to celebrate with. I don't blame you. All right. Um, right now, you guys could be in healing mode as often as possible as well, because of the energy swirling about, whether you want to say that's evil eye, projection, all right, heartache, grief, sorrow, loss, based or not. Okay, you're coming out as that person. I'm hearing that thing, that thing. And I think that's Lauren Hill. Maybe somebody's name is Lauren. Somebody could have last name Hill. Maybe you like that song. I think that song's about something else, really. I'm not sure. But it's almost like you're just, you're that one. You're that guy. You're that girl. You're that one. That god. That goddess. Right? As I look at the Queen of Pentacles and the Ace of Cups. So you guys, if you are here resonating with this, right, and you got no one in your love life and no one in your bed, okay, it is coming in because look at you. I mean, you might be lining up, might be, all kinds of sexes over your sexiness, just saying, all right? Just saying. Okay, so you've been pouring into you long enough. You closed down the cycles. You made way for the new energy. Makes sense. They're coming. All right. So hopefully that resonated for you guys. I'm gonna ring the bell and see what we got for the free yes nos. You guys, please follow along the live stream rules. If you don't know what they are, check below the description box. If we do have our moderator on, Fiona, she may be able to assist you with any questions you may have. But you guys, everything's laid out in the description box below. You just got to scroll down for the live stream rules. Thank you so much, Fiona. I appreciate you for that so much. Thank you. But you guys really, you do have this wisdom, okay? I think being compassionate towards yourselves is going to allow for you to be a lot more in that flow state of adaptability, all right? Because, this time could be quite emotional right now, too. Um, you might be finding that, you've got things that you're still working on healing in the past or in aspects of the past, right? And you might even be feeling like, gosh, this feels a little fast that I'm supposed to work through this programming. But again, you have gone through this time and time and time again. I mean, I'm not trying to sound insensitive, right? I'm trying to really talk about the facts here. The facts are, right? You got this. You are capable. I know the facts are just the same. It's not easy. It hurts sometimes and is scary others, right? Okay, right? Because you don't get to the top without actually you don't, you know what I'm saying? You don't get to, how do you just get to the top? Like what? The plane just dropped your ass off and we're supposed to still respect you when you get no, you've done the work. Okay, so how'd you do the work if you're not capable? Well, hold on, yeah, that don't track. So stop with that mentality, right? Because the whole time this is the truth. This is you, whether guy, girl, what have you. All right, that's for somebody. I love you guys. If you don't have any, you know what's crazy? I look up at the screen and I see 7-7. That's so funny. I love that for us. Claim it. Like Juanita said, just claim it. I mean, what's the harm? What's the harm in claiming something that you want? Disappointment? Well, you've already lived through disappointment. So now what? You just wanted the restriction because you got a little used to the restrictions are your comfort, lack and poverty is your comfort zone. Is that what you're saying to the universe? You have to check. I mean, I'm not putting words in anybody's, but you'd have to, ask you and then have the conversation. Exactly. You are happiness, Juanita, right? I am that I am. So what are you? All of the good things. And accountable for all of the dark things, right? Balance, you can't deny any part of yourselves at this point. How are you going to have light without the darkness? How would you have good without the bad? I was thinking today, factually, not even emotionally, about how I know how I'm so good at being grateful is because I know damn well what I don't deserve, don't prefer, don't want, have closed the cycle out on. And I'm talking about whether this is about me to me or me with others or me with God, as you would say, right? Just plug in all the freaking coordinates. All right, I know. I'm not saying I know everything, but I've gone through enough hellfire and brimstone to understand how to be grateful for the good. And you know what? I wouldn't have it any other way, because otherwise, you know what it's giving you guys? Like, this is like a really old reference, so hopefully, most of us at least get this. But you guys, Wonka, right? Like Willy Wonka. Remember that girl, freaking Violet? They had to send her down to the freaking juicing room. She got all big and roundy and everything. She wanted all her Wonka shit and whatever, right? Very spoiled, rotten to the core. Daddy, it's like, girl, first of all, can you get a life? And what would you do with it if you had, right? Don't be, utilizing your power, your divine essence, your aura for fuck shit, you guys. Because that's what you'll get. Like, you will damn sure, like, you can literally fuck up your life if you want. I'd advise against it. But I've done it in certain ways, and that's why I'm passionate about advising you guys against it, if that makes sense. It's not me being judgy. It's like, whoa, whoa, no, if you do that, this is what's gonna happen. It's gonna hurt, and you might. And I don't want that for any of you. All right, just saying. And uh, an easy way. Oh man, I was smooth with it too. Just move my lips a little bit. Next thing you know, I word cursing all over my life. I didn't know any better, and nobody stopped me. We come here with a veil, so it's okay that I didn't know on day one, I'm sure. I give myself that grace. And I out myself for you guys so that you guys don't feel alone. Because it's not an overnight, one and done, snap of the fingers, click of the heels process necessarily. Just saying. Lovely, positive there. Welcome. But you guys, the whole freaking message is like, but you can. And I'd like to say, just, like, in the essence of Juanita, right? But you did. You did it already. Haven't you noticed sometimes tarot messages come through? It's like, whoa, whoa, I didn't even know. Was it my FYP? Did I put the P in there? Was I trying? And all of a sudden this message comes through and you're like, damn, this lady, this man, this person, this entity. I'm saying it for like ET purposes, but it's just speaking out everything that I put on my vision board to do and be, right? Is speaking out everything I didn't tell anybody about. She's speaking, he's speaking at me, like to my soul, like I already did it. It's because it's done. All right. You might be noticing that you're in a lot of isolation right now because really you're freaking quantum leaping timelines. Oh, you didn't like that shitty ass piece of crap life? Okay. Hole up in your room for a couple days. When you come out, everybody's gonna be pretty cool and they're gonna treat you nice. And you're gonna be like, I can't believe it. Wow. I just woke up like this. All right. So keep going. Keep your head. Keep your wits about you. Keep your connection to divine, because that's going to help you with all of that. Whether you want to say the angels, Holy Spirit. All right. And ask for help, you guys. Uh oh. Felt a fiery dart come near my flesh. Angels, thank you for your presence. Thank you for your protection. I am so grateful for cheat code, cheat code. I'm giving y'all free game. I'm giving y'all free game to your soft era. I hope you're catching it. All right. Because you got this. You're equipped with it. You already exist. You already fafoed and you're here. And now you got the message. You just want you and your dad. Take care of your dad. I'm the same, Laura. You got to be vigilant in keeping that energy. My heart goes out to you, Juanita, regarding both of your parents. Actually, that's pretty heavy. Do ask for help. Ask for agency resources if and when applicable. Right? Maybe you can't get the whole enchilada taken care of, kind of thing, with getting the assistance and the type of assistance that you may need, but you could get some, right? And you don't know until you ask. And I found out a lot of things just by telling a lot of people that I'm just not knowledgeable. Please and thank you. For any assistance you could give, or directing me to someone that could give me assistance. Because what you don't want to do is just make a horrible assumption that goes, it's literally just all on me. Because that's an assumption. Because even when people see you, Juanita or anyone else who can make, I feel like we can all make sense of this one. When people see us, doing things all alone, it's literally not truthful that we're doing much of anything all alone. Okay. And that's not to say, like, hey, congratulate yourselves for not giving up, because that part is a very important, integral part of this thing, called your life, called your incarnation, you might say, and or your mission, your purpose, right? And long story short, you guys, the choices that stand before you, or that will become known to you and made clear to you, don't overthink it. Okay, but at the same time, make sure that you understand how each one of those choices makes you feel. You should be essentially following your happiness, and you should also at the same time really honor the belief in the fact that the divine supports you in that. It may not be logical, it may not be something normally fruit filled, it may not be something that normally brings in a lot of pentacles, right? But at the same time, if it's part of your purpose, it'll feel like it, seem like it, sound like it, smell like it, however it makes sense to say. Maybe not on day one, maybe not on day 12, maybe not on week 3, right? But you got to give it a chance and you got to believe. So there's that part to play too. See how powerful and important you all are. All right. And you've all got your own walks. We are all connected to some degree, right? But we are not here to be cookie cutter carbon copies of each other, like living in ticky tock boxes, saying the same sentences and drinking the same liquids and eating the same. Like, no, we're individuals and we're very individualistic for a reason, for great reason, for many of us. Okay. So, don't start trying to not stick out now, baby, because I mean, with the star card energy, with a guy go out, are you kidding me? Look, people are already noticing. You already know you're being noticed. You already know you get those looks and everything. And people want to try to like measure themselves, even though you would never ask them to, up to your milestones, your path, your essence, your aura, dare I say, and feel like they fall short. Okay, can cause a lot of conflict. And I get that, a lot of us being empaths, you feel that kind of sucks. It's like already bad enough that you're triggering, then the other people that are triggered got to feel that shit too, and you're like, oh my god, I just exist, there's nothing I can do about it, right? And there's nothing you should, because really, again, this energy, I mean, 10 of cups is like, aside from the sun card, like a pretty up there with the happiness. Okay, speaking of happiness, right? It's also pretty up there with the stability. I mean, those are two deal breakers for me, guys. Just saying, okay? So you want to live out that experience, okay? And all I'm saying is, it's not that it's not coming. I'm saying it already exists. So go ahead and get grateful, right? Long story short, okay? Get excited. You give yourself permission. God is not, the divine is not, and, your spiritual guidance team is not, of an existence of disappointment. Disappointment comes from other sources. Does that make sense? Okay, and sometimes when we're being accountable for ourselves and our actions and our beliefs, right? We can find that sometimes we are a source of our own disappointment. Like, when was the last time that you really believed that somebody was like you, and then come to find out they're nothing like you, could never be, and it's to the point now, you looking back, hindsight's 2020. I get that. You almost feel like, well, it was obvious. Well, you're learning and growing your soul, and there's a lesson and a blessing in that, right? Thank you. Next. Okay. Don't get hemmed up on something that doesn't make the rest of your life. I mean, the rest of your life is really kind of looking to start now, your soft era. I'm pretty sure we didn't slide out our mamas into our soft era. Pretty sure we came here for it though. And I'm pretty sure it's about to be in your now space. Okay. As long as you believe. Now, if you want to shoot yourself in the foot and say, well, I don't know. I need you to know, when you're in that energy, you're literally shouting out to the universe, to the divine, God, goddess. I don't know. should you? Like, I feel like ground and tap in is probably a better way than just automatically assuming that you're counted out. Is that you doing that? Don't be that one, right? Look at this. I can't even make it up, you guys. And I wanted to consult this deck. Thank you, Spirit. That's so crazy. I wanted to consult this deck, right? Because I was reminded of this other card, you guys, that was from another session. Bear with, I'm still like, my cards are everywhere right now. And I was thinking to myself, oh, I love this deck. It's a new one that I got for the channel. And I'm like, oh, I love it. I don't know where it is, right? Look, ta-da, here's one for you. And of all things, it says divine artistry. Craft your story. You're not just an artist. You're a goddess shaping your unique masterpiece of life. So whether guy, girl, what have you, I mean, it's an oracle card. It's going to be limited, right? With the goddess energy. But there could be some significance to goddess energy. Kali Ma coming through the channeling earlier, just saying, you guys, you're crafting your own story. You are able to co-create this masterpiece, not just a fucking, oh yeah, all my life I had to fight and that's all it'll ever be. Like, no, why would you craft that out? Why would you craft that out when, now that you know that? Do you know what I mean? It's kind of that serious. Because then people look at other people who like take these keys of wisdom and like apply them and like unlock shit and like fix their life up and stuff. Like, oh, they don't get like where they got the power. All right. It's from within. You'd have to believe first. It's again not outside of you. All right. It, long story short. And a lot of quite unfortunately, a lot of communities, I'll just say it that way because I really don't, I'm not even going down this rabbit hole, will not teach the full gamut of the proper perception, all right, with which to understand about yourself. Okay. They'll teach that, you are less than, you are lower than, you should be so lucky God would love you. It's like, wait a minute, hold on. Because how is God, going back to this body of Christ type of stuff, right, just gonna hate its armpit? I say it because there's no sex with energy, like there's no sex with the physical, there's no meat suit there, so there's no, okay, hopefully that makes sense. There's sex with energy, but it would be it would be 50-50, just saying. If it's in balance, it's 50-50 masculine and feminine. That's for anybody, regardless of their meat suit that their soul is housed in. Hopefully that makes sense, right? But I digress. You guys, if you don't have any questions tonight, let me see. You want to know yes or no as usual. Okay. Um, but you guys, great things. I mean, love even. This Ace of Cups, I just realized, literally love. That lover is coming in. Ooh. I'll have to see if I can another time, of course, dive into that a little bit more. I love to do love messages, you guys. I just don't always get the opportunity. So we got a yes, but it's like strength. So might not. Oh damn! Might not be the easiest yes, but that's the yes. Okay, what's that about though, Laura? Well, one of them is a hell no, right? And one of them's like, yeah, you good. This. So. So, whichever one you was asking about, I don't know how that works for you, but whichever one you was asking about is the yes, because the other one is a hell no. All right, just to be clear, that's a hell no. I am just a no. Yeah, I think you'd have a lot of anxiety on the other. Oh, damn! The one is. Back to the strength. Yep, you. Hopefully that's clear for you. I'm not sure. One hell no. Okay. Listen, but I love rice. I when I want ice or ice, when I want rice, you guys, I get the organic diced cauliflower. But I have to watch because that shit, man, like, oh my god, like, because you can get a little gassy because it's not rice, if that makes sense. But other than that, I'm like, oh, this is like a good rice substitute. Because me personally, I try not to eat where there's um like levels of like extreme levels of blood sugar spikes. I'm not diabetic, surprisingly, thankfully, of course, because I was doing all the things for many years, like all of the things. Like, damn, I'll just shit. Like all of the like even whenever I tracked into like some of the like food combinations, it's like no, these things should never go together, kind of thing. Like for these certain organs, I'm like, oh my god, I just always had that. Like, geez, the way I'm still alive, I know I got purpose. Because that's aside from the times other people tried to end my life. It's funny looking back, but you know. All right. So, well, you guys, I love you. Thanks for hanging out with your girl. I hope you got something out of this. I feel like I did too. And I really missed being on with you guys. Sorry it was a little bit later. But still working on things and alchemizing and treating myself right as well. Very important. You guys don't leave yourselves out. You can't leave yourselves for last, right? It's not safe anymore to do that, right? And I feel like I'm repeating that so often because a lot of people out there in them streets and sometimes in your sheets too, you gotta check. Just saying, that's for you to do, right? They're not gonna tell you otherwise, right? They're betting on your ignorance so that they can just kind of keep riding your coattails or keep leeching off of you. Whether energetically, it's not even always about money, right? You're very welcome, Laura. Okay, yeah, let's chat. All right, so you guys do you the best, right? It's not selfish because who all I'm addressing, you don't lead a selfish mentality, let alone lifestyle. I think that's kind of why we're having these discussions often on the channel. If that makes sense. Okay. So again, with that compassionate energy, right? Give yourselves the compassion and the grace and pour into you. And for those that have been doing so, thank you so much and continue to do so. I say thank you for anyone wondering because you guys, when you do this healing work for yourselves, I mean, we're all connected. So collectively, right? You're lightening the load. Collectively, we're all able to get to that soft era with a lot more ease. And I love that about us. And damn it, we deserve it. You know, we got this. We do. You got this. I got this. And we got this. All right. So there's really nothing much anyone can do about it. Okay. Love to talk about it because, we could come on and talk about so many other things that are also true, but again, let's focus on what we prefer, right? It's not about delusion. It might be about making delusion work for us, though, right? But it's not about delusioning yourselves to the point where you no longer understand that so and so around you. Oh, well, last week they were definitely not my friend. Uh, this week, right? Like, don't set yourself up for failure by being the nice guy. It doesn't pay, right? I personally am working on just, being not like bitchy or anything, but just being less accommodating for people that like I don't even know, right? Like it's like calm down, like they don't, or even the people that I do know, like it's like let me not break my own back and then like turn around and wonder why like I feel so out of sorts. And meanwhile, other people are walking around not even realizing because this is something that I'm internally creating. See how powerful we are? We could do stuff like that, right? It's not just the karmics, right? We all have our abilities and, our ways to use our abilities to learn and grow our souls, right? So, again, don't be bothered by the lessons. I think it would be more bothersome if somebody came on here and they checked and they were like, oh my gosh, I never did anything. Like, I actually never tried to learn. I never tried to think for myself. Like, I think that's more problematic. Does that make sense? Okay, let's see here more comment. Ooh. That is a very passionate yes, if I do say so myself, more comment, right? Um, And look at the bottom of the deck is the Empress. So this could be, you know, you well, comment. Have you been doing the work? Closing out a cycle, pouring into you more so that you are making room for somebody who's worthy of your time and attention and heart space. Ooh, good job. All right. So yeah, that is a yes on the romantic feelings. Sorry for the bouncing, you guys. That's just my stand I'm using. All right. So if there's no other free yes nos out there, okay. Oh, okay. Let me see here. Positive bear. I feel like we just had a whole message that you were sitting there taking in, right? Positive bear. You're very welcome. Welcome. All right. So here's the thing, positive bear. I'm gonna check. I'm not picking on you, right? But you can't learn and grow everything overnight, anyways, right? Like I could tell you everything that I know. Like, what if I could? I can't, but what if I could? And I go for 59 hours. What were you supposed to do with that? So have some patience and some compassion towards yourself, right? If you know you've been baby stepping, all right, who are you to turn right around and say, my baby steps are not enough? Now, it's different if you've been guided, okay? Maybe there's some sort of download, some synchronicity. Oh, my baby steps, I should, you know, then that's a little different. But just to jump out of the gate going, I'm not doing enough, I don't know enough, are you screaming out to the universe that those things by accident, right? Because you know, you don't want to word curse your life, okay? Because positive bear, what if you were word cursing your life? Because baby, it came out as the star. Again, remember the star was for you too in the first time it came out, the message? Just, you guys, take this. Look, you're literally working in alignment, okay? You're literally working in alignment. Now, maybe you have to prioritize you more. Well, you already know that. So you can just do that too, along with the bang up job you were. You guys, give yourself. Well, thanks for coming back, Juanita. Give yourselves grace, okay? Be compassionate. Because how would you get to the end of this race, right? It's not even a race. That's another thing I wanted to tell you, positive bear, right? Because you either believe that like things are going to happen where like you're going to have clarity on them, better understanding, or better access to information when the time's right, or you're going to self sabotage and go, oh, be screaming to the universe, I'm not going to leave here with enough. You know, it's like, hold on, right? Please. And I don't want anyone to feel picked on, okay? I love you guys. And I'm loving you through it. I try to give examples that make sense, right? And that will resonate. And sometimes, you know, help keep us awake, but still make sense, all right? But I'm not picking on anybody here, I promise, okay? But I do want you guys to take these messages in. I'm not sitting here blowing smoke up somebody's anything. This is literally like I'm called to come here and do that. I even checked, right? Like I'm not gonna lie, I was dressed and everything. And I still check like, should I go on the live stream right now? Because you know, I was thinking it was kind of late and stuff, right? So then I get on here and I'm telling you guys these messages, right? That I'm not pulling from my ass. I show you the cards. The cards even back me up. Your intuition, you cross-referenced. I please and thank you. Even if it's me, you guys utilize your intuition. I would never tell you otherwise, right? And so the message just is what it is. So you guys, you know, we go through this message and you question it, and I go, that is a level of self-sabotage to work on. And I'm not spanking anyone here. Like, this is how I would talk to me. Like, oh, I've identified the pattern. Okay, I'm grateful that you understand my heart in the matter, because I'm like, I'm coming for you, but like only in love and light. Like, I promise I'm not just coming for you to like knock you down and just make you feel bad. I'm literally coming to lift you up and straighten your fucking crown, because like ain't no way you should be walking around just even energetically, right, off kilter when you don't have to, and you don't deserve to, right? So now that you know that, okay, it tracks back to how like you're on the great side of karma, you're in alignment. Like, give yourself grace. giving yourself grace isn't the equivalent, you guys, to like not doing anything anymore and just assuming like you're done. Like you, like giving yourself grace in school, right? Doesn't automatically equate to, now that I've given myself grace because I only got a B and not an A on that test, I have graduated university. And it's like, dude, you're in 11th grade. What do you mean university? You didn't even get, did you fill out a college application? Like, it's not like that, right? And again, it's not a race either. You have to trust yourself at your ability to trust yourself. Does that make sense? Sometimes, even going back to that religion aspect, we're taught like, okay, we can trust God. Are we simultaneously taught we can trust ourselves? Absolutely not. But when you can trust yourselves, like in God, as they say, like trust your connection to sovereignty, divinity, right? You're going to see more tangible evidence of that fact. And when you do, you kind of remain confident about that. Yes, people try to rock you and everything. They get mad, they get triggered, right? But even in those instances, you kind of learn to smile and celebrate. Like, yeah, I didn't give up. And so now I know that I know. I know that I'm confident and I'm not cocky. And arrogance isn't really going to get you very far. Confidence, hell yes. Right? Just saying. Okay? So, don't be that one that, and if you find okay, me too, girl, me too, guy, me too, son, me too, sister, me too, brother, right? Okay. So, but now that we know better, we can live better, right? Like you want the cushy job, okay. You want the comfy parking space, okay. Well, you want the car to actually have to have a parking space, okay, okay, right? And I'm only pointing that out because you guys, at the root, if you find self sabotage in any aspect of your mentality, your consciousness, right? At the root, there is some self sabotage there. And so sometimes divine forces aren't really energetically able to make the energy move and shift in an incoming way where it's pleasant, the way that you'd prefer. I'll say it that way, more aptly stated. Unless and until you kind of get through to the root cause of why you're holding up your blessings. Nobody wants that for you. The divine is not sitting here going, hell yeah, like probably another 30 weeks before that check comes in, for that debt's wiped clear. No, okay. But when you're chipping away, you're thinking, you're whispering inside of your mind, like, I don't have the fucking rent money for the, you know, but inside of your mind, you're creating energy that's screaming to the universe, I don't have the fucking rent money. I don't have it. Okay, so don't turn around and expect to have the rent paid anywhere timely, if at all. Because you're screaming that out over every night. Oh my God, I'm going to pay the rent. I don't know. But if you cheat code it out, gratitude, thank you, universe. I don't even need to know how. I just appreciate that you already know before I even ask. Like and we've been here before, right? You took care, and you took care of me again. Thank you. Because that is an energy that is going to keep you way less ill, physically, mentally, spiritually. And you know what that means? The healthier you are, the better you are at uh, manifesting, essentially, what or co-creating what you are preferring to experience in this life, which wouldn't be lack, which wouldn't be bad luck. No, we wouldn't prefer those things. See? Okay? So I'm glad you got it, Positive Bear. And I'm glad that you came on because this wasn't just for you. We all could resonate with that one, I'm sure. We're all somewhere on the path. And I think that's pretty cool about our collective, too. All right. I love you guys. You keep me going. And thank you for the inspiration that you create for your girl. All right. I know you guys are often kind enough to let me know on your end that I am, I'm grateful to say that you guys even think I'm inspiring. All right. I feel like, if God forbid I didn't wake up tomorrow, at least I did something with my life kind of thing. Because I know you guys have been loving towards me and shared that sentiment. And thank you. But I need you to know that, you know, I am your own reflection. Anything great you can see about me, it is really coming from you. I hope you understand that. It's kind of like how in quantum physics, you'll hear scientists and metaphysicists talk about basically like this co-created conscious experience, right? Whether you want to call it a simulation, blah 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 blah, or not, right? And the reality of the situation is, I could never see myself in the exact way that like Positive Bear could see me, right? Even though we're in the same room looking at each other, and vice versa. And I think that there's a beautiful truth to address about that is really, you know, yes, we're connected, but we are also of our own reflections of each other. And I like to say that that's beautiful and not triggering. Hope that makes sense. All right. And I'm grateful that I can help open anybody's eyes. I don't know everything, you guys. I'll tell you what I don't know. But really, you know, this channel was created because I was called to it. And, you know, I didn't really always know I would be. And, you know, with this platform, I do wholeheartedly just intend to come on here and share what I do know personally works. I know what personally works for me maybe doesn't have like, you know, some sort of standard textbook generic general fit to it, but I'm only offering you my truth as I know it to be. You know, some of the things have been trial and error. I know others are from downloads, you know, and others from channeling, you know. But whatever is shared here, you know, it is shared with a good intent. And I thank you for those that do take it in. Um, Honor the messages for what they are, what they mean for you. They're not gonna, from one session to the next, resonate with every collective member all the time, perhaps, right? But even when those messages, you know, we're talking about from one session to the next, you know, different subject matters, and maybe you can get something that you can learn and grow your soul out of it too, and make some friends while you're online with the rest of the collective, right? So I invite you guys to continue to do that. For those that it was your first time meeting me, you know, my honor. Okay, I'm honored to read your cards. Thank you for allowing me to do that. And thank you for continuing to honor your path separately and apart from what we do here. All right, it all matters, and you all matter. And I love you guys so, so much. Have a wonderful night and a wonderful morning. Actually, we already are co creating. I love that about us. All right, get some rest. I love you, beautiful souls. Love and light.